So I think like with all this we have said,
Yeah.
the most crucial part remains in figuring out if when we are like chaining multiple steps,
Yeah.
Are all these steps working correctly in all the times. Like when we are just coding, we get an error on the console, right?
Yeah.
But in case we are using an AI,
Yeah.
it just gives out some response, a happy response,
Yeah.
but it might be just like saying something which is very utterly false.
Yeah, true.
So the part where we can ensure that what the agent is doing is actually correct is the most crucial.
Okay.
So what do you think about this?
So I think in between every step, right, there might be a way for the user to actually interact with the agent. So for instance, the AI agent, let's say, does some kind of research, right? For instance, then maybe it prints out a summary of what it's read on the internet or what it knows. And then I go in as the user, I read through that summary. If I find that anything's wrong, I probably tell it to maybe look up data again. And the same goes for every step, right? Maybe even after generates code, I get a chance to look, as the user get a chance to look at the code. And if I see any errors, I could just tell the generating agent there and then, instead of the code actually going to the reviewer agent and taking up unnecessary tokens. But that works if, let's say, the errors are pretty small and very easy to find. Because if the errors are large, then you don't want to enter yourself into the pipeline and then start debugging, because then that's basically wasting your time. There's no point in setting up an AI workflow if you're the one who's going to do the debugging.
Yeah.
So for small errors, it's pretty easy for the user to jump in and do the work like using their own hands or anything like that. But for large errors, I think it's just easier if the reviewer agent actually handles.
Right. So like when we are creating a workflow in itself, we want the chaining to happen, very smoothly, and you wouldn't want a human in the loop as far as possible. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like a few ways that this has been kind of taken care of, or people are working on it.
Yeah.
So essentially, as we used to write unit tests for checking if the code works correctly, and whenever we make a new change, we just run the old test suite so that you can just check if there's like anything that has been broken. So in the similar way, you can have some input-output kind of a test input and test output that you previously have tested and know that those are the correct outputs.
Okay.
And then whenever you change any part of these, like the whole chain, and then you just run the whole workflow over those predefined inputs and outputs, and then just compare how many times, let's say out of 1,000, is it doing a good job and actually giving the actual test outputs that you would expect. So this is similar to unit testing, but it is more probabilistic in some sense.
When you were talking about that, I kind of realized that security is a very important aspect, because the agent is bound to look up for data on the internet, and you do not want it to look for any kind of malicious data or any kind of data which maybe leads to an injection attack or some sort, right? So I've realized that apart from security, it should also be reliable and repeatable. So these three things are, you could probably call it the three pillars of a good AI workflow, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so cool. Thank you so much.